Ready? Okay. Ready? Okay. Okay, you all received the work session agenda. Do you have any additions or omissions to that? Okay, with that, we'll move to the regular meeting of Wednesday, August 12th. Call roll.
Mr. Damascus,
Here.
Mr. Dussinger,
Here.
Mr. Evans,
Here.
Mr. Fender,
Here.
Mr. Camus,
Here.
Mr. Majer,
Here.
Mr. Pazinski,
Here.
Mr. Richards, Mr. Savage.
Okay, we'll have a moment of silence followed by a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Mr. Goldberg, would you?
Thank you, President. I don't have the official statement that we wrote for the board, but I will speak on behalf of the board. The primary concern of everyone is the safety, health, and welfare of students, the faculty, the support staff. Thank you. And we hope that everyone in the Wyoming Valley West community is safe and in good health during the unprecedented time of the COVID-19 pandemic. The primary concern of this board continues to be the health, safety, welfare, and education of our children. Please know that the board is doing everything within its power to ensure all of those rights to our Spartan families. In the interest of public safety, this meeting is being conducted using a remote access for many of the board members, and it will be kept brief. Although this is a public meeting and complies with the state's sunshine laws, because a number of individuals are not physically present, we will not be taking any questions and comments live. The board asks that if you have any questions that would normally be raised during public comment, please go to the Wyoming Valley West website and send any questions to the board by email. The administration will return your email as soon as possible. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding as we all work through these trying times. Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting June 4th and the regular June board meeting.
Second.
All roll. No, we don't need it. Superintendent comments.
Thank you, Mr. Majer. First of all, I'd like to take a moment to just recognize and thank a gentleman by the name of Tony Grieco. Tony is a former Wyoming Valley West employee who's now the executive director of Intermediate Unit 18. And Tony's been instrumental in assisting and helping school districts in Luzerne County, particularly since last March, helping implement programs and ideas on how to attack the virus, how to attack school districts as far as strategy to try and help and educate the students. So he's been extremely critical to all the superintendents as far as helping us out. And I did want to thank Dr. Grieco for everything he's done for the school districts in Luzerne County and in particular in Wyoming Valley West. Also, the middle school received acceptance letters for 2 grant programs through PATAN and IU18. The Path to Graduation grant focuses on intervention plan for emotional support students that will increase the graduation rate and promote positive behavior. Also, the MTSS program, which stands for Multi-Tier Support System, emphasizes efforts towards improvement of math instruction and outcome for all students. With those grants, the middle school's eligible for professional development in the form of $20,000 award over 2 years, and for the P2G grant, $3,000 for the 3rd year. The MTSS Math Series Award is $10,000 for this school year, and it continues to benefit the commitment to positive behavior interventions and support. So I want to thank Mrs. Troy, Mr. Needle, Mr. DePrimo, and the faculty and staff here at the middle school. Again, congratulations. Also, the Wyoming Valley West School District is looking to allocate some Title IV funds in the 2021 school year to purchase additional Chromebooks. Typically, Title IV funds are divided into three categories: well-rounded education, safety, and technology. Due to the pandemic, we were able to file a waiver, which is going to allow us to utilize the well-rounded category for the purchase of Chromebooks under that section. I'd also like to mention that our dress code committee has met, and they've made two recommendations for a pilot, a modification of the pilot of the school dress code for the 2021 school year. Those recommendations, I'll be meeting with the dress code committee tomorrow, and the recommendations will be posted on the district website on Sunday. The following announcement is in regard to the school reopening. After countless meetings, extensive research, observation of reopening of schools across the country, and consideration of recent local statistics on new COVID-19 cases, the Wyoming Valley West Reopening Committee recommends that the district implement full remote virtual learning through Friday, October the 9th. This recommendation reflects for the health, safety, and welfare of 5,000 students, as well as our staff, including teachers, nurses, counselors, therapists, administrators, secretaries, clerks, aides, PCAs, custodians, cafeteria workers, cleaning staff, bus drivers, and all of the families of these individuals, as well as the families of our students. While the committee had developed a viable hybrid plan for learning, recent examples of schools shutting down within only a few days of opening, with teachers and students becoming infected, having made us realize that opening right now poses a safety risk to our staff and students, as well as their families, that we are just not willing to take. There is simply too much uncertainty at the current time to bring students and staff together in our buildings and put our entire community at risk. This is reinforced by data released Monday that places Luzerne County in the moderate classification for transmission of the virus. For this classification, the state recommends implementing hybrid or full remote virtual education. Therefore, it's the recommendation of the reopening committee to begin the 2021 school year in full-time virtual mode with online education until Friday, October the 9th, at which time we will reevaluate our status based on current data. It's our hope that during the school year, we'll eventually be able to move to the hybrid model of learning and finally to full-time traditional schooling. As always, this decision is made with the health, safety, and welfare of students, staff, and the community in mind. Thank you, Mr. Mazur.
Thank you, Mr. Tosh. That will move to general recommended action. I need a motion.
So moved.
Call the roll.
Mr. DeVaskus,
Yes.
Mr. Dussinger,
Yes.
Mr. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Fender,
Yes.
Mr. Kamis,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Mr. Pazinski, Mr. Usavich.
Okay, staff recommended action, number 15, Megan Ham.
Second.
Call the roll.
Mr. Dussinger,
Yes.
Mr. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Fender,
Yes.
Mr. Kamis,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Mr. Pazinski, Mr. Usavich,
Yes.
Mr. DeVaskus.
Yes.
Okay, finance recommended action. Lou, do you have anything?
Right now, we're just starting to get heavily involved in our year-end audit. We've been supplying our auditors with various reports online for the last week or two. So that's pretty much what we'll be doing in a short period.
Okay, with that, I need a motion.
So moved. Second.
Call the roll.
Mr. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Fender,
Yes.
Mr. Kamis,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Pazinski, Mr. Savage, Mr. Damascus,
Yes.
Mr. Dussinger.
Board member comments.
I'd like to thank Mr. Tosh for his diligence in working through this and keeping us updated and everything. Doing a great job, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Mr. Buzinski, but I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our reopening committee and a gentleman who's standing right here with us, Mr. Wiscavage. Mr. Wiscavage continually goes above and beyond the call of duty from a technology standpoint. Since last March, most nights through last March and April, when we were going through this the first time, he and I were on the phone till 10:30, 11 o'clock at times. And I just think with everything that he's done, he's gone above and beyond the call of duty. And as I said to you, Mr. Buzinski, our reopening committee, they've been very diligent. They worked very hard. And we have worked through 3 different modes, from traditional, seeing how hard it was going to be for that, the hybrid, thinking that we were going to be able to do that. But again, as I mentioned previously, the statistics and the uncertainty of the last couple of weeks just puts us in a position where I think the recommendation, again, as hard as it is for us to do, we just think at this time period, it's best for the district and for the students and our faculty and staff from a safety standpoint at this point. Thank you.
Are you talking about that guy doing a great job?
I also want to thank everyone that's involved in this. I mean, we've been putting in a lot of time, board members and all our faculty that's been working on all these projects. And it changes day to day. We make one decision on Monday, and Monday afternoon it's changed. So we're getting together on Tuesday, and this has been going on now for months. And it's time consuming, and we're trying to do the best we can. So if everybody would just bear with us, I'm sure we'll get out of this and we'll come out of it together. Okay, next scheduled meeting, work session 9/16/2020, 7 p.m. Regular September meeting 9/16 following work session. Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Meeting adjourned.